Welcome back, everybody, back to the channel. Today, what we're going to be doing is ranking all of Man City players in the squad. As you can see, we got a kind of different list. I have world class, which is obviously a good starter for us. Good substitution. These guys are going to be coming up off the bench. Since we're going to be playing like 80 games this season, we need a lot of good subs to make. We have worth to sell, so it's better to sell them now than to keep them because their thing is just going to go down more. Give this guy one more chance or not Man City level. I think I'm going to change one more chance. I think worth to sell is kind of ass too. Good sub. I'll just say bench player here. Bench, and I'll just say one more chance. Yeah. World class, starter, a good sub. I'll hold the bench. One more chance at not Man City level. We're starting off with one of our best center backs, Manuel Akanji. I think Manuel Akanji is a starter. I think Manuel Kanji is a starter. He's been playing absolutely out of his mind recently. He's a little bit finicky. One thing I don't like about Kanji is he's a little bit finicky with mistakes. He does a couple of mistakes here in the game, but he's better than Kyle Walker. I'd rather him than Walker. I think he deserves to start. I think he's a really good player, and I think he's one of our best center backs. And I think he's been playing way more than Ake, way more than John Stones. I think the only person, him and Ruma Diaz, has been playing the same amount of games. I'm not sure though. Fact check me on that. But he's one of our best center backs. We only got him for 15 million, which is crazy. Nathan Ake. Now here's the problem. Nathan Ake was really good for us, but we have a player who's literally better than him in everything, other than maybe like defending, like one-on-one. I think Ake is better than Gavardio, but here's the problem. You can't really sub in a defender, so he's just gonna have to hold the bench. And since we do have 60 games this season, then since we do have 60 games this season, he's just gonna play some of the games like the EFL Cup, some of the Champions Leagues that don't matter. He's gonna play probably the World Club or Cup some of the games that don't matter there. Some of the Premier League games that we're too tired to after because like if you look at Manchester City's schedule, it's like a game every 2 to 3 days. EFL, like we have, I'm pretty sure Arsenal, and then an EFL like game 2 days later, and then another game like 4 days later, another game like 2 days later, another game like 3 days later. Like we have like the schedule's looking crazy. So he will get some time. He's just not gonna be a starter, and you can't really substitute a defender. Bernardo Silva's world class. Bernardo Silva should not sniff the bench, and if he does, we're pissed. He is one of our makers in the squad. He runs. He's a good fucking holder of the ball. He can dribble. He can cross. He can make assists. He can score goals. He's a freaking like the jack of all trades, and he's so beautiful on the ball. He's such a brilliant fucking technical player. He's so good at what he does. He has to. I mean, he has to start every game that we need him. If not, we'll see. Jeremy Doku. Now here's the problem, Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku's a good player. He's just not Man City level yet. And the problem is that he is so good at doing two things, and that's his speed in like short like distances is nobody beats him in that. And his strength and ability to dribble like between players, nobody's beating him that on the squad. Here comes the issue though. He's so good at those two things. The problem is that when I'm looking for somebody who can do a little bit more, somebody who can score goals. Doku scored a few goals last season, but none of them were really like super crazy. And he doesn't know final ball for shit. If you can't score goals, like if he was a goal scoring winger, I'd have no problem with him fucking up the final ball. But he has lost possession so many times from cutting across, and he's not looking. He's just throwing the ball into the path. And I get it. That's what he's supposed to do. But the problem is that, like, bro, like, you can't just blind throw it, because you know what's gonna happen then is that nobody's gonna like go for it. Like I seen it one of the passes, like he put it right at Erling Haaland's feet. And Erling Haaland's a great player, but he can't do nothing about that pass. That's just too hard. So I think what we should do is bring him up off the bench. I think when the defender's legs are tired and Grealish or whoever's playing on the wing just been cooking the defender all game, he comes on 70th minute and just cooks for 20 to 30 minutes. I think he's a good super sub. As a starter, it's really hard to judge him because bro, you're good, but you don't produce enough goals and assists. And fuck the goals and assists. You don't create chances. He dribbles past a million people, and then that last final ball he fucking sucks at, and it really pisses me off because he's such a good player. Next one is Ederson. Ederson's one of the greatest goalkeepers in the league, in the world, in everything. Ederson gets overshadowed because of somebody like Allison, and he's a better Brazilian keeper and a better shot stopper than Ederson. But Ederson is still a brilliant shot stopper. He's still a fucking brave ass defender. He's still a great fucking sweeper keeper. He's great with his feet too. He doesn't panic. He was a little shaky in the first two games, but that third game, his nerves kind of settled, and I know the reason why. Last year against Tottenham, fucking Ortega made that save, and everybody was like, Ederson would never made that save. And imagine you hear that as the main goalkeeper, and the only reason he couldn't play was because of his eye got fucked up. Like, bro, I'd be so tight hearing that. What do you mean the backup better than me? I'm the main guy. That's why I wasn't mad if he wanted to leave. Because nobody respects this nigga. People just think he's good at with his feet. You know how many saves he's made for us in the treble season, in the 4 in a row season, in the seasons before that? The season before that, he was a little shaky. But since the treble season, he hasn't let up at all. Like, he's been playing phenomenal. And I will never, ever fault him for that. Next, we got PFA Winner of the Year, Philip Walter Foden, number 47. I really hate that he's number 47. Bro, change your number to number 10. Please, you're the number 10 for our team. Change it to number 10, I beg you. But, yeah. So it is a difficult thing here because I believe he's world class. A lot of people watched that England thing and thought, "Oh, this guy sucks." And I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, he's not good outside the Pep system, and he needs Pep, and he needs." I really don't believe that. I just think he just had a bad run of games. I think he had a bad run of form, which is completely fine. But here's the problem: Harry Kane was playing ass. Nobody mentioned it because he scored like maybe 1 or 2 goals. Jude Bellingham was playing so bad, but because he scored that bicycle goal, nobody said nothing to him. That's the issue. If Phil Foden scored 1 or 2 goals, nobody would be saying nothing about him. It's the fact that he didn't score, and that one where he was offside, he was so greedy to get a goal because he wasn't playing well that when he finally got the chance, he was offside. I was like, bruh, come on. But yeah, I believe he's still world class. You guys don't remember. At the Santiago Bernabeu, we are down 2-1. Who fucking ties it up for us? Philip Foden. Last game of the season, like 5 minutes in, who scores that first goal for us and breaks Arsenal hearts in a second? Phil Foden. Nobody else but him, man. Yikes. Josko Garbadio, you're a good starter. He should be starting every game as left back, left center back. That's his role. He's cemented it. He is fucking woo. This nigga is a fucking brilliant defender. I think our best lineup is Gavardio, Akanji, and Diaz. I really love Stones, but unless one of those three get injured, I don't want to see that nigga on the pitch. I love Stones, but none of them niggas gotta be on the pitch unless these two or Ruben Diaz is injured. That's the only way I'm allowed to see John Stones on the pitch. Other than that, he should be holding the bench. And I love John Stones, but Akanji's been playing better than you, Gavardio's been playing better than you, and Ruben Diaz has been playing better than you. And you always get injured. I want him to go back to that trouble season where he was just galloping in the midfield, taking that shit by his fucking drawstrings. But yeah, next up we got Erling Haaland. I don't think we gotta say much. Best striker in the world. I think the best player in the world right now. I don't think anybody's better than him in what he does. I think he's gotten a lot better. He looks so free. His movements look sharp. He looks ready to eat. He's hungry for every goal that he gets. He's just a fucking machine, a robot. He's really good at what he does. I don't have enough glaze to glaze this nigga, but he's really good. Shout out to him. Here we go. Cancelo's Raw Cancelo. Uh, I can't really put him on anything. I'll just have to put him not Man City level. And yeah, he's not even on our team no more. So I'll just leave him here. He's not on our team no more. I'm not rating him. But if he was still on our team, I'd say be a good bench player or a good sub. I don't think he should start because our team is just real good. Yeah. Next up, Grealish. Grealish. Jack Grealish is a good player. He had a terrible season last season, but the treble season, he was playing ahead of Phil Foden for a reason, because he was that good. He's really good at ball retention. He's really good at catching fouls. He's really good at creating chances and making space for other players. One thing that he's not good at, dribbling, scoring goals, not really good at assisting goals, but he's really good at making chances out of pretty much nothing, which is a good thing, and that's why we need him. I think him and Bernardo on the flanks, we need that. We need that one more time. We need that one more time. And if not, he can hold the sub, bro. Actually, he's gonna have to hold. No, he's starter for me. If I was leading, I'll put him as starter. Next up, we have Calvin Phillips. Man, Calvin. Calvin, I like you, man. I really, really like you. Here's the problem. You're not good enough for Pep Guardiola because you're not a good DM for him. I think if Calvin played for Chelsea, for Arsenal, for Liverpool, for any of these other teams, he'd be a phenomenal player. But the fact that he's trying to play Rodri's role, he's just not good at it. And I feel like Pep should have given him another role to play, but that's just how it is. I liked when he played center back in the preseason. He looked fucking mint. He looked good at that. But as soon as he stepped up into the DM position, he just looks like his head is on a fucking screw loose. Like, I feel so bad, but it's like, bro, I, there's nothing I can say, bro. Like, you're just not good enough. And that's sad. But, bro, you're not. I'm sorry. I really want to put him in one more chance, but the problem. Oh, what the fuck? But the problem is, uh, I really want to put him in one more chance. But the problem is, bro, like even if we give him one more chance, then what? He's still not gonna do good. We have enough center backs. We don't need a backup to a backup to a backup center back. So yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to sell this guy next season. We're going to have to sell him, or let him go on a free. This is the one contract we fucked up. Everything else, I think we've been doing very well at. Next up, we have Kevin De Bruyne. He's the best midfielder of all time in the Prem. He's top 5 midfielders all time. He's one of the greatest players to ever touch a football. Shout out to Kevin De Bruyne. That's all I'm gonna say. If you got a problem with that, argue with your mama. Don't fucking talk to me. Next up, we got Mateo Kovacic. Mateo, I love you to death. I love you to death. I'm so sorry, but you're gonna be holding the bench. If I have Kevin De Bruyne, if I have Bernardo Silva, and if I have Rodri and Gundogan, Kovacic, I love you, but you're holding bench. Oh, Gundogan's not on this list, then I'll put him as substitute then. Gundogan's not on this list, I'll put him as substitute. Mateus Nunes, he is a really good player. I think Pep has been trying to play him as Gundogan. Pep has been trying to play him as Rodri. Pep has been trying to play him as Bernardo Silva. He's none of those guys. I think he's a good forward 8, like a 8 that's not really an attacking midfielder. That, like, he's a ball progressing 8. He can carry the ball, he can dribble it well, he can create chances, and he can score goals. He was really good at Wolves. I think the problem is Pep has been trying to change his play style to fit his formation and how he wants players to play. But he's a good sub. I think he's really good. So yeah. Next up is McAtee. McAtee, hold the bench, please. Oscar Bob, good substitute. Maxime Perron, you're not on our team no more. But yes, I think Oscar Bob is a really good sub. I think him and Doku coming on in the final minutes. Woo! It's gonna be scary. It's going to be scary. Him and Doku coming on in the final minutes is gonna be scary. Those two guys are crazy. I would love Oscar Bob to start more games for us. Unfortunately, this season I was like, he's about to go crazy because in preseason he was cooking niggas, and then as soon as the season's about to start, he got an injury. He's out till January. Bro, I felt so bad for him, but I know he's gonna come back for us, and I know he's gonna deliver. He's such a good player. Ortega Moreno, hey man, hold the bench. You're keeper number 2, buddy. You're keeper number 2, buddy. So stay like that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah. And then Ruben Diaz, I say he's world class. He's one of the best defenders in the entire world. I think nobody can really talk to Ruben Diaz. Everybody always mentions William Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, everybody else but Ruben Diaz. John Stones over Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is phenomenal. He's so fucking good. I watch him week in, week out. He is so good as a defender, but he gets disrespected. And you know why he gets disrespected? It's because people think William Saliba is all this. Like, bro, when you look at Ruben Diaz, like, I don't think there's defender other than like Rudiger that can really talk to him. Rudiger played so well last season. He changed a lot of people's minds. He was the third string center back. He took Alaba's chain, even though Alaba was injured. He took his chain and he was starting all them games. There was a reason for that because he's really good. Ruben Diaz, we haven't lost the Premier League since we got him. We haven't been lower than the semifinals in the Champions League since we got Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz has been fundamental in our league and in our Champions League and in our FA Cups and all the fucking things that we're in. He's been so fundamental. He's a captain of our team. He's a very good leader, and he's really, really good at what he does. Our next two starters are hitting the tower. Obviously, Rodri, I'll put him right there behind Erling Haaland. He's world class. He's the best midfielder behind Kevin De Bruyne in the world. Best holding midfielder for sure. Ski. People saying he's not as good as Busquets. I'm saying give it like 2 more years. Then he'll be saying something different. And I also want to say this. Everybody on our team is amazing. But here's the problem. They always say our team is getting carried by Pep, or Pep is getting carried by his team, or our players are getting carried by Pep, and our Pep is getting carried by his players. Nobody knows which one's which. Guess what I know? I know for sure, Ski, that nigga is a problem. He's a big ass problem. I think our next one is pretty simple. Rico Lewis, he's starting. After those 3 games, he's not dropping. I'm sorry. Kyle Walker, I love you. I think you're a great player for us. But the problem with Rico Lewis is he's just too good. He's too fucking good. And I can't, with all my heart, I cannot allow a nigga like who's that good to be holding the bench. He has to start most of the games. He's very well defensive. He's aware of his defensive capabilities. He knows he's small. He's fucking a hustler. He's always free. He can make good runs into the box. He makes great fucking overlapping runs. He cuts inverts into the midfield. He's a great passer. He's great. The problem is he's not really good goal scoring, but he's way better as a right back than Kyle Walker. I think the only person who can hold the right back other than him is Manuel Akanji. Savinho! He's going to be a good sub for us. Right now, I'm starting Jack Grealish over Savinho. But halfway through the season, Savinho could be starting and Jack Grealish could be on the bench. And the reason why is Savinho was a mix between Jack Grealish and Jeremy Doku. Savinho's game IQ, he's literally the regen of Mahrez, which is fucking insane to me. He said Mahrez is my favorite player, I'm taking his number, and he's literally Mahrez. The way he plays is fantastic, phenomenal, I love it. And he's such a good player on the ball, but his IQ is really what gets me. He knows when to make runs. He knows when to start taking on his man. He knows when to let the ball go. He knows when to slow down a play. He knows when to pass that final ball in. He's such a smart player, and he can produce goals and assists. And he presses really hard. I love the fact that he got that goal against, I think, West Ham. It was because he pressed. That was all him. He's really good at what he does, man. Congrats. Excuse me. Congrats on the signing. We got him for 25 million, bro. W. John Stones and Walker are gonna hit the bench, unfortunately. But halfway through the season, Stones could be back to his level, and I'll put Akanji on the bench in a heartbeat. In a fucking heartbeat. I love you, Akanji, but if Stones is back to his treble-winning season fucking form, he's gonna be a starter. Ake is not gonna be a starter. Gavardio's too good. Savinho's gonna be a starter. But yeah, these two guys, I'm not rating. This guy's on loan, and this guy, he's in Saudi now. But yeah, that is my Man City rating. Shout out. If I'd put him in a like a 3-2-4-1 formation, just like last time, Ederson in goal, or just like always with Pep's new system. I put Ederson in goal. Our three center backs are gonna be Kanji on the right, Diaz in the middle, Gavardio on the left, and then Rodri and Rico as our two sixes. A left winger Bernardo, left winger Grealish, right winger Bernardo, and then inside KDB, Phil Foden up top, Erling Haaland himself. Thank you guys for watching. I love Man City. It's my favorite team, obviously. I watch them every week and whatever they're playing. Shout out to everybody who's still here. If you like the video, please like the video. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. Hit that notification bell. Comment what you think. Do you think I'm fucking lying? Do you think I'm off my head? Just let me know. And then, yeah. Share this video with your friends, your family. And, well, that's it. Peace.